Welcome back, Wolfpack Brothers here. We're taking a trip from Kalos to Hoenn, and we're bringing Clawitzer with us. Clawitzer doesn't really get too much in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire from Move Tutors, so this is going to be a standard Clawitzer set video, and that's kind of one of the things about Kalos to Hoenn, just updating sets, and sometimes they might be really awesome. So what we have here is we have the option to get Dragon Pulse from your Move Tutor if you want to spin BP instead of a Heart Scale. I don't know, we also have Icy Wind and Helping Hand. Now, Helping Hand is a decent option because Clawitzer can be run in doubles, and Icy Wind is also good for that speed support. So it's pretty standard stuff, like a lot of Pokemon that get Icy Wind or Electro Web and Helping Hand. So we're not getting like anything amazing that really breaks this Pokemon, but we are still getting a really good potential to like at least transition this Pokemon to doubles. Now, first off, if you want to run Clawitzer in singles, a lot of people, they just go Health Bulk. You're going to just try to endure as many hits as possible, and then you throw out a Mega Launcher, huge, most likely super effective attack, and you try to sweep it from there with the choice specs. It's going to be very similar to Dragalge in this kind of way, that you endure the hit, you throw out a KO, and then you switch out, and then you wait for better times, and then you just kind of go and keep turning it into some extra win and KOs and stuff. Because between all this, you have a very diverse coverage, and it's just even further boosted by Mega Launcher. Mega Launcher makes Pulse moves have 50% more power, and that's actually really crazy because moves like Dark Pulse choice specs into a super effective hit, that's going to KO. Same with Aura Sphere. Now, I just like having Ice Beam because hitting Dragon types and Flying types is really cool, and Scald, you can, like, there's kind of like a little bit of choice here, that because the base power of Water Pulse is so low, if I could actually spell water, so Water Pulse only has that 60 base power, which means it's getting boosted to 90 compared to just Scald's 80. So it's kind of like, do you like the Scald burn? You know, you're still getting stab, you're still getting choice specs boost. So do you want the little bit of extra base damage between the stab and choice specs that's going to help you out with some neutral hits, or you're just going to go for Scald and like, hey, I might want the burn, I might not knock out the Pokemon, or you can just, with this, you're actually like locking yourself into choice specs. Just keep throwing out Scald, you know, maybe turn Scald into a 2-hit KO Pokemon. Potentially you can like lower one of their physical offensive Pokemon, and you just have a couple of good options with this. And that's going to be the main way that you want to run Clawitzer for singles. But you can also look at it from that doubles perspective. Now that we have Icy Wind, you can kind of start looking for those outspeeds. You can just be a tanky, huge support Pokemon, because one of the cool things about Mega Launcher is that Heal Pulse is affected by it, which means that it's going to heal the target for 75% of its hit points. And I just like that with the speed support, that seeing we go full tank, you know, bold nature, high amount of defense, kind of really high amount of special defense, getting some huge hit point investment in there, and then you just throw out the Icy Winds. And eventually your opponent is going to be slower than your main Pokemon. Your main Pokemon's going to be taking damage, you're throwing out the Heal Pulse, they're getting almost all of their health back, and your opponent's just going to have a bad time. You also have Scald for that burn support, and Protect to kind of soak up hits and have leftovers proc, and Clawitzer can be kind of threatening like this, that with that huge level of heal, it just kind of gets really absurd. And then we can kind of look at a couple of other things. I was thinking with a really cheese singles set, we have Endure. That any Pokemon that gets Endure, you can always set that up into a Salac Berry, Patea Berry, or some kind of berry setup. And I think that's really cool that since Clawitzer is really tanky, you can actually, you know, throw out a hit, get some damage in there, Endure, have Salac Berry proc, and then you can throw out another hit, and then it's going to be most likely a KO right there. Now you have that speed priority on your side. Again, Scald or Water Pulse, whatever you feel like using, Ice Beam and Aura Sphere, so now you're just looking for coverage. That if that coverage lands, you might be able to score that KO while under that speed priority, and since you have a lot of base tankiness, it's going to work out really well in your favor. That if you max out the speed, so you just go into that, you're not going to have the highest outspeeds. I wanted to like preserve a lot of modest, so that way we get the highest amount of special attack possible since we're already boosting our speed. And you're still going to find a decent amount of outspeeds, and that's all you're looking for. You're not looking to be the fastest, hardest hitting sweeper. You're just going to try to clean up some of your opponent's Pokemon. If you bring this into the mid to late game when everything's already at around half health, you can just kind of pick off an opponent's Pokemon very surprisingly, and then follow through with the rest of the game from there. So I think that's one cool thing that Clawitzer can do, and then the rest of these sets are pretty fun as well. So if you guys enjoyed this video, and that's how you use Clawitzer in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.